San Diego 6 News in the morning. Your station for balanced news.
And keeping your kids focused in class with so much to distract them these days from learning, we're going to talk about some easy ways parents and teachers can keep them plugged in. Stay with us.
Well, one of the biggest struggles for teachers today is keeping students involved and interested. With smartphones, computer games, and social sites vying for their attention, school seems to be taking a back seat. Now, here with tips for teachers and parents on how to get those wandering students back on track and excited about learning is Bobbi DePorter, author of this book, Quantum Teaching. And we also have our pleasure joining us this morning. You might recognize him, actor Richard Dreyfuss, who is also taking on this very important topic. And Bobbi, tell me first of all, what do you think the biggest problem facing teachers right now is?
Well, one as a whole, we're failing kids. You know, kids are, far too many of them are disengaged, they're failing classes, and some of them are dropping out of school. And there's been so many huge studies on what makes a difference for kids, and it's effective teaching. So that is the single biggest indicator, and what we need to do is, you know, support our teachers in being more effective in the classroom.
I know it's a struggle for teachers right now with all this technology and short attention spans as a result. Is there something they can do to help them use as a tool in the classroom to get the kids back and focused?
Well, one is get their interest. One is connect the content to what they're already interested in. And another tip we have is focus on effort, because kids have control of giving their best effort. They may get disengaged if they have to get an A or the test scores, but when they are acknowledged for the effort that they put in, it really turns things around. And what we focus on is how to teach. You know, with teachers, there's been so much, you know, when they go through university on the what, the content, the theory, the history even of education. So it makes a big difference when you teach teachers how to teach effectively, because they know the result they want in the classroom. They want kids engaged. They want them connected. They want them excited about learning. But what we need to do is teach them, you know, how to effective strategies.
Is there something parents can do to help in this effort?
Absolutely. Again, it's that focus on effort at home, because, you know, that at home, homework and stress sometimes is taking away family life. And when you focus on effort that they're putting in and arrange other things that are going on that are fun for kids, so that they have a more holistic approach to school and learning.
And Richard, this has become a big concern for you as well. As a matter of fact, you have some plans in the works right now, this coming weekend, and to get the word out about what's happening in education right now. Can you tell us about that?
There's going to be a thing called Time for a Talk, and it's a national conversation held in cyberspace and covered by C-SPAN. And the panelists are the head of the Wall Street Journal, the head of Common Cause, Girl Scouts, superintendents, Rotary, Roy Romer, who used to be governor of Colorado and then quit to become head of Los Angeles Unified School Districts. That's a journey. Diane Ravitch, who's a teacher advocate, the teacher advocate. And two things are important about this. On Monday at 10 o'clock, you're going to see people who would not go to lunch together in the modern America, sharing this territory and saying this is an urgent crisis, that we teach our kids substantive patriotism. We give them reasons why America is admired, what gifts America has given, and you put it in a historic context to show how much of a miracle America is compared to every form of governance that preceded it, and every form of governance that will follow it if we fail.
So you're talking about civic studies, and that's something that you feel has really fallen by the wayside?
It's not only felt. I mean, civics has been lost. It has decayed at an accelerating rate until it's so simplistic that it has no bearing on reality. And what you want to do is have an informed resource pool. When the guys who wrote the Constitution, which was such a huge leap, when they finished it, they didn't realize that not only were they the first ones in history to actualize the idea that the people and the rulers could be one thing, but it had never happened before, so there was no training even for them to create such a resource pool. And that's why Horace Mann's name is in every school district, because after the Founding Fathers were finished, he said, now you have to train the populace to be an informed and resourceful pool of information and excellence. And that's why his name is all over the place. So he really was the last of the Founding Fathers.
And Bobbi, going back to you, it's all about training, isn't it? And you're saying there has been a disconnect in what they're teaching and how they should teach. Is there one thing that you would say to parents and teachers that they could take away this morning, that they could start doing to help bring the students and the teachers and the parents all back together again?
Well, one is acknowledging that people do better when they're taught specifically how to teach, and students when they're taught specifically how to learn. We assume so much, and to sit down and actually teach practical skills and model them makes a big difference for teachers in being more effective and for students to be more effective learners, because we want to teach our students to take responsibility for their education. You know, it's not because this subject's boring or this teacher's not engaging, so we want our students to be responsible for their education, and it's the same with the teachers, teaching them specific skills on how to be a more effective teachers and reach the students so that they are engaged and connected to their learning and excel.
And the secret of school that no one wants to say is that the real hidden agenda is to teach kids how to think and how to think clearly. And in education, that's actually got a name. It's called soft learning. And it's like, it takes second place to geology or math. But it doesn't really. What we really must do is create a civic body that has a mobile, agile mind, and hand that to the business community, hand that to the military, so you don't have a stupid military force and you don't have a stupid business community. If American business does not reinforce the public schools, they will in 10 years hire their chairman of the boards from Asia and India because we're not smart enough.
This is our way to stay competitive in a world market.
And other countries are scoring higher than us in problem solving, which is critical thinking. We're near the bottom out of 34 developed countries, where U.S. is 29. And
really the word is trust. We have a republic. A republic is representative democracy, which means you must trust your representatives, who are your teachers, your judges, and your politicians. And if you turn your kids over to teachers for 9 hours a day and then say, oh, they're all rotten apples and we don't trust them, you're fundamentally attacking the notions that create American idealism.
Richard, Bobbi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And there's so much information to pass on. If you want more information, go to our website at san diego6.com and click on Hot Topics.